Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you because you invite me tonight, and thank you for this beautiful evening. I'm so incredible, beautiful things, and I'm very proud to be here with you. Unfortunately, it's Thursday. Normally, I speak very well Hungarian language, but not today. It's Thursday is forbidden for me to use the language, and I need to use only two different languages, or English or Italian. Quale preferite? Possiamo fare in italiano? Italiano. Okay. It's quite difficult for me to talk about our work because tonight I show, I think, different qualities of life. And I show the different thoughts. Normally we do a lot of different things. And tonight I'm a public face of the studio. But the studio is a creator. I'm not alone. You know, it's a big team. We are divided into different places. One is Milano, the main one, and the second one is New York. And, you know, in the end, we are a community. Tonight I'm talking because they choose me because I'm the most beautiful person inside in the studio, and unbelievable decorative, super decorative, and they transform me in a public face. But I'm one inside in a community, and that's it. Okay, the title: Humanistic Approach. I like to be honest with you. When I do some presentation, I don't know what happened inside. It's a deal for me and for my team. All the time they prepare for me something, but I don't know what they prepare. I'm quite honest because they tell to me, Piero, you like to see something before? And I say, no, I like to jump without net. And probably tonight they prepare for me something strange things. But anyway, I like to show to you. Prego. Oh, sorry, I didn't present to you two important persons tonight. My partner, Miguel Casal Ribeiro. It's we found together the Milanese section of architecture, and Rodrigo Telles, architect. First of all, to be architect, I'm architect, and I'm very proud of that. I'm not a designer, I'm architect. And this one, it's important border. Because to be architect, it means you need to be, for one part, you need to be scientific. For another one, you need to be totally, completely anarchist. If you don't use this kind of double life, it's impossible to become an architect for me. Anyway, now I like to show to you Vitruvio. Did you know Vitruvio? Did you know what he did? He wrote 11 books of architecture and art. And one of the most important thoughts inside in the Vitruvian idea to be humanistic, it was being an architect, engineer, sometime. You need to be scientist, you need to be a mathematical person, you need to be a poet, you need to be a painter, you need to be a sculptor, you need to be a moorer, you need to be a worker, you need to be an artisan. In the end, he wrote one beautiful sentence. Over all this, you need to be a person who looking through the sky, through the different stars. Open your mind. That one, it was one of the Renaissance point of the fundamental discussion around and about of humanistic approach. You need to do that. Otherwise, everything becomes, personally speaking, too much specialized and too much pornographic. Well, I show to you the different aspects of my work. And when I talk about of my work, I talk about of the work of the community. Our work, For example, we do art direction, and they start with B&B. We do art direction, we design pieces for them, and think everybody know who is B&B inside in the world of design. The combination to be art director, it means you need to control every kind of part of the process. You need to be designer, you need to be architect, you need to improve what is possible to do, you need to be engineer because you need to work with the local creative center, you need to design something in industrial production, and in the end you need to control the images, you need to control the face, the public face of this company. Prego. You know, for them we design everything. We design the show, we design the architecture inside in a building, we design the architecture outside of the building, we design the pieces, we design the graphic, we design the photo shooting, we choose the technologies, and we're talking about of them. This one is again another our qualities of work. Another art director, San Lorenzo. San Lorenzo is based in Tuscany, more or less, and they do boats from 25 meters till 72. It's a huge factory. They do more or less every year nearby 100 different typology of boats. They produce, industrially speaking, boats, but each boat is designed bespoke. It means every boat is designed one by one by one by one. Well, we are art director. We design the line of the boat. We treat the architecture of the boat like a pure floating architecture. We remodeling the old details inside like an engineer. We working around of the engineering system of production, and we design the whole interior. In the last 7 years, we change the consciousness to be inside in a boat. We design the boat like floating villas or floating houses. We open the spaces, we took away the partitions. You know, we treat everything with a natural material. And when I talk about of natural material, I talk about of this kind of sophisticated approach like in architecture field. And we design for them, Miguel, he knows very well, better than me, we design for them the old factories, where they produce the pieces, where the people they live inside, where the workers, they do it. Because another special thoughts, when we do something, we are responsible not in front of ourselves, not in front of the market, but we are responsible for inside and against sometimes, but for the whole community. And we do for them the same level of, we put inside the same level of thinking. We design factories, we design exhibitions, we design in which way this factory talk about. And at the same time, we design the consciousness to be a worker inside in this kind of community. Well, we're working out of art because San Lorenzo, we found together a foundation, and we choose every year 4 different young artists worldwide. And now we finish more or less after 7 years. We combine a special collection and we open a museum in Venice. We open a small, like a foundation. It's pure art foundation, and we open a museum in Venice. When we work inside in one company like this, like art director, we work 360 degrees. You know, it's a circular system of creativity. We control everything. We work, we put inside a lot of different thoughts. We design pieces like floating villas, but we design the communication, we design the graphics, we choose in which way is possible to talk in the socials. It's a link with me and you. You know, because everybody talk about of our work in an Anglo-Saxon point of view. Sometimes we need to be too much specialized. I think it's not true. First, we need to be curious, and second one, we need to be open-minded. If you are architect, you need to know tridimensional, bidimensional, You need to understand piece of art. In the same time, you need to understand the technological point. If you are not inside in many different aspects, well, now we play like a designer, only designer. When we move inside in factories, we are designers, prego. We are architects again. Sometimes we become an engineer. It's not a perfect word, but I need to be engineer. Did you see this one? It's Buffy Kitchen. All of these details, is designed by the studio. Everything from the small screw through the architectural part of the kitchen. Everything it was thought before, everything it was designed before, everything it was made it by our studio and the engineering group of Buffy. In the end, I tell you, when we work inside in a community. I'm not alone. Without the community, and the community is research center, engineering center, factories, entrepreneur, nothing happens. One designer alone is nobody in the middle of nowhere. Without, the boundaries, without the fields, and without this kind of special community, nothing happens. We designed, for example, the generation. In the last 20 years, we designed the old generation of architectural lights for floss. Did you see? We jump inside in many different aspects. Sometimes high-tech aspect, sometimes gentle aspect. Sometimes, we work with this factory and we do special carpets, and we met artisans from India, Nepal, Kerala, and we start to understand in which way it was possible to do something together. I learn from them, they learn from me. And after that, we do a collection. This one is Cartel. I think you know Cartel, who they are. I am a designer for Cartel since more than 20 years, and I do a lot of different bad things for them. I design many different pieces. Okay, this one is a chair, it's named Puma. It's only 2 kilos and nearby 200 grams. It's completely made in carbonium fiber, but with a completely new technologies. But we're talking about that later on. Another company, Knoll, from USA, and we designed since 10 years the whole collection for them. And I'm a little bit scared because, Knoll, he chose in the past people like Zarin, and he chose Mies van der Rohe, he chose Sotsas, Ettore Sotsas, he chose Mrs. Florence Knoll. I don't know why, 10 years ago they chose me. When you design something like this, for example, this one, it's a toothpaste, brush, tooth, and blah, 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 you need to think it completely another way. You need to think about of robots. You need to think about of how many movements you need to do. You need to think about of which kind of material they're supposed to use, how much cost. When you design one piece like Salvatore, it's a stone, some men or women, they touch the material, but after that, some robots, they work. It's a combination in two different qualities of life, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In one time, you need to think in a scientific way. In another one, you need to have this special human touch. Without the human touch, nothing happens. Prego. And now we jump in another section again, another dimension. We are architects. Some of the projects we did in the last 5 years, we make many different architecture around the world. And when we touch architecture, and in that way, I'm very, very proud to be Italian, and the whole studio is more than 50% of the studio are not. They are not Italian. They are from all over the world, but the mentality and the culture inside is become Italian. We control everything. We control the architecture, we control the engineering system, we control the interior. Because it's impossible for me, personally, Piero Lissoni, think about, you design something inside, and what you design inside doesn't function reverse to what happened outside, and vice versa. When we design something, this one, for example, it's an old factory in Beijing, and we transform the factories in a covered garden and hotel. If you don't think in a double way, architect for the structure and architect for the interior, and architect like a designer because you need after that to produce the pieces inside, you are not a complete. You are not inside in 360 degrees. You need to be inside in this kind of spatial world. Prego. Again, this one is a building in Shanghai. We designed 2 buildings. It's inside in the most expensive part of Shanghai. And we designed 2 different options. One is a hotel. The other one is a part hotel. Of course, did you know, normally when we design architecture, we put inside the special stairs. It's like a signature. For many people, the stairs, they are a mechanical space for moving up and down. For me, and this one, I'm very proud of that, for me the stairs, they are a twilight zone. When you move inside the stairs, you are somewhere else. You are not on the first floor, you are not in the second one, you are in between, you are somewhere else. Sometimes people disappear on the stairs. Sometimes, they move up and down to the stairs and they walk in through a 4th dimension inside in a universe. Well, all the time we design properly specialized and strange stairs. I come back again. Can you imagine the face of the engineers? When I design the stairs, I try to be not extreme, more than extreme. Did you see the combination, architecture versus interior, interior versus design, design versus production? Everything is connected. And another thought, normally we don't like to design a catalog of Lissoni's studio and partners objects. We put inside many different historical parts, we put inside our part of design, and we combine together, we glue together with our taste. This one, it's another point. You need to put inside something with risks. If you don't take risks, sorry, but you are not an architect. You are a good decorator, probably. You design something interesting like a designer. But if you don't take a risk, you don't jump out of the border. We did, again with Miguel, one puristic new small town. We designed something, first connected with the water, second connected with a special green, and third connected with one simple word, simplicity. First we show one project more radical than that, and after that we clean up a little bit. But in the end, in 2020, we opened 2020. In 2020, we won the prize in the All Emirates and Saudi Arabia, like a best architecture part in the whole peninsula. And the simplicity pay. In the end, the simplicity for our discussion inside in our team, it's the public face of complexity. And that's it, no more. If you wait a few months, we are ready to show a new creator in Budapest. It's for everybody now. The new title is Dorothea. For me, because I'm the old generation inside in the studio is Dorothea. Dorothea is more. It's good for Budapest, Well, we design everything. We design one new creator. Can you imagine 4 different buildings, 4 different ages, from the 18th century? For me, it's 4. For somebody, it's 3. But when I start to design the old quarter, it was in the end for me 4 different buildings. Anyway, from the beginning of the mid 18th century till 1940 something, well, we reconnect everything with a new building inside. We save some facade, we save the most important decorative part inside in a building. We save the dimension of the old building, and after that we design a completely new architecture. We design a new rooftop, and we design something completely unexpected. Architects, again. Prego. This one, it's a project in a Balaton lake. I think it's the golf course in a Balaton lake. And we design again one architecture. But can you imagine you, Hungarian, you was one of the most famous countries in the world for making wood architecture since I don't know how many centuries. Well, we only try to use the same level of knowledges, traditions, technologies, and after that we retransform 100 years later in this building. It's made it complete in wood, zero piece of concrete inside, more or less, don't believe. And, but we try to put inside the soul of this Hungarian strategical culture. Prego. Again, did you know better than me Dürer Park is become now like a catalog of modernist architecture, some museums, some new architecture. Well, we try to be inside in the same game. And we design two different buildings, and we try to combine together again two different stories. One is become a governative building, and the second one, probably we design a new museum, gallery, offices, It's a mix match for the moment idea to do one special new creator combined to the old building with a new one. Prego. And after that, we design many different houses. Vado veloce. I move quite quickly. This one, it's in Israel. This one, it's in Miami, Coconut Grove. Well, all of these buildings, they are born with a properly idea to be unique. The all houses, they are more or less the same DNA, but in the same time, we try to do something completely different, time by time, place by place, culture by culture. But in the end, it's Lissoni, Casa Ribeiro, partners, and blah, 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 We are persons, we are face, we are culture, and we need anyway to save ourselves, sometimes against the client. Cuckoo. Prego. Competitions. I like to show the competition because the competition is like to design the Formula One car. The other one, it's a normal production. When you do a competition, you design a Formula One car, you move up and you move out. You need to open your mind, you need to change your consistencies inside in technologies, possibilities, construction, view. You need to jump out of your moment. And that one, it was a project in New York, and we decided to show one completely new, crazy idea about of one tower. It's more than 400 meters tall, and we put inside nearby 10 different options. School, hospital, small clinic, small museum, gym, offices and residences, restaurants and a small mall, All of this one is not a simple tower with apartment or simple offices tower. It's a vertical town. Prego. This one is a new idea about of high lines. The New Yorker people, they invite few different studios worldwide to design one new high line, and we play around. Did you remember Spider-Man? Well, we designed a perfect Spider-Man suspended gardens inside in a mid part of town. Prego. This one, it was, I think, one of the most exciting projects that we did. It's the Museum of Language. Can you imagine the possibility to discuss about of languages? Which kind of language you like? Did you remember the Babele Tower? The Babele Tower, it was in the end, the title to use many different cultures all together. But God, it was a little bit envy for that, and it was not so happy. And you know the story, what happened after that. Well, when we designed the Museum of Language, we designed one special place, torna indietro. We designed one special place with some vertical crystal memories. You touch one button on the floor and the crystal tree move up. And after that, it's possible to see commercial. You choose, I don't know, to talk in Urdu, or you like to discuss in Parsi, or you like to discover what happened during the Roman time, or you like to discover what happened during the empire in Austria and Hungary. You like to discover what happened during the Egyptian moment, or what happened with the last rapper in United States or in somewhere else. Well, one inexistent museum. That one, it's again a Formula One. We didn't design one museum. We didn't design the classical one. We designed something totally, completely unexpected. Unfortunately, we don't have enough technology for do that. But in the next, prego. This one, it was a competition again in New York, and we won. And we won the competition to design the new Aquario in the middle of Hudson. And we combined together two different possibilities. One Aquario for looking through fishes and the other animals, and one special cupola to see the stars. But the cupola, we designed the cupola with a special movement, and we opened the cupola, and we opened like when you close the cupola, it becomes an island. When you open the cupola, it's become an aquarium. Again, another competition we won. We designed for temporary library inside in park in New York, in a Central Park. We like to offer for everybody, homeless till the owner of a billionaire factories, to move inside in a park, to give a book, to take a book, and after that to give back the book and to take another one. Only for 24 hours, and after that we dismantle everything, and the park becomes the park. It was done like this. Prego. Graphics. I tell you before, I like to be architect, three-dimensional person, but I like to be graphic designer, bidimensional. Did you remember Vitruvio? Look the stars, be a painter, be architect, be a sculpturist. All of them. I showed this one, all of them, they are all only my mistakes. For making mistakes, I'm alone. I'm a genius of mistakes. This one is my mistake. We designed a house outside of Milano, and I designed a stair without any pillar in the middle, fixed only in 2 points, up and to the floor. Engineers, can you imagine the face of them? When I show the calculation, I do the calculation by myself, they say, Piero, it's impossible to do it. This kind of stairs, completely free, is moving like a spring. I said, no, I don't believe. Can you try to put inside something more rigid, but I don't like to change the design of the stairs. In the end, they do. The stairs, it was a little bit elastic. 5-7 centimeters when you move up and down. The owner, she asked me, but Piero, are you sure? The stairs is moving a little bit. I designed the stairs exactly because it's a fantastic exercise for your body. You move up and down, you know, you need to be very elastic. Don't worry, it's a fantastic stairs. After few years, nobody complained, but the stairs believe is moving like a spring. Anyway, second, before the war, before the gas, before the electricity, before the bad things, when we designed these offices, we designed the offices without the electricity, more or less. We designed all different stuff in a special sandwich, plastic, glass, and again plastic, for more or less 12 hours. Spring, summer, winter, spring. Summer became a problem because, you know, it was too much light. The whole walls, it was in this semi-transparent surface. And when the client, they asked me, Piero, what we do, you know, we have too much light inside the offices. I give it to them, 100 different pairs of sunglasses. Okay, I lose the client. They was a bit angry with me, but the solution, it was good, you know. For 3 months, zero light. For 1 month, you need to use a little bit sunglasses. Prego. This one, I play around of the idea, you know, to use the water. And when the people, they asked me, this one, it was one famous factory in Italy. They control very well the water with a strange machine and strange electronic things. I do the classical play, you know, like in Disneyland, you put one small ball on top and the ball moving down with the water. Okay, I lose the client too. They was not so sportive with me, you know, they didn't understand. They asked me, wow, we threw away a lot of water like in Venice. Yeah, like in Venice, where is the problem? Okay, prego. This one, it was the last presentation for Amazon. And I designed inside in a 17th century courtyard this exhibition with many different mirrors with the sign of Amazon. I only forget one simple detail, June. Sun, reflection. You know, it was to be like a piece of meat on the grill. When you move inside in a labyrinth of Amazon, I feel like a sausage in the middle of the grill. But nobody's perfect. This one, I'm very proud of that. Did you know Floss? Floss, it's one of the most important brands in the world for lamps. And I designed one lamp without light. If you like, you switch and you see only the blue light lightly inside in the room. That's it, finito. You don't need you need another lamp. You know, you buy one, but you pay 2. It's enough. Prego. And this one, I'm super proud. Super, super, super proud. Did you know the original one? The factory, I know you know the factory. It's a famous German factory. It is impossible now to discuss about the name of them. Osram, I tell you. They asked me, Piero, Mr. Lissoni, you like to design the new Osram light? These horrible things, for more than 20 years before the LED light, it was like a Bible malediction, you know. It was like a disgrace. Everywhere, from Afghanistan till Patagonia, the ugly bulbs they was inside in all ambiances. Well, they asked me to design the new one. No way. That one, it was my revenge. I designed 1, 2, and 3. After a few weeks, the Germans, they became from Bayer Leverkusen, were one Osram factories is there, and they asked me to show the new project, and I show Mickey Mouse, Pinocchio, and the other one for 5 minutes. 6, 7 engineers, German engineer. They was white. They look at me. They talking together. Unfortunately, I speak German too, and I understood what they're talking about. More or less, the meaning of the sentences, it was this one. It's a idiot. What we have to do now? In which way we move out of these horrible things? And I tell to them, guys, this one is our proposal to design the new generation of bulbs. Tell me something. Now you are free for thought, so think about, and we're waiting you for the answer. They disappear in 25 seconds. Woof! 6 engineers or 7 engineers, they move out and they disappear for all the time. I'm very proud of that. It was my personal revenge. And that's it. Our work. Our work, it's we are in the end children. We move inside in a playground. We need to be curious, we need to be stupid, we need to be intelligent, we need to be disciplined, and at the same time we need to be totally, completely anarchist. And that's it. You don't need more, Grazie. Sorry, I forgot. You have questions?
Are you working with Hungarian engineers and architects?
Yeah, a lot of them since 4 years, and some of them they are here. Did you see something of them? They are totally white, like a phantom, like a vampire. Yeah, I work with some of them, but they are good. Doesn't matter if you are Hungarian or if you are from somewhere else. You need to be good. Sorry, in that one I'm not so chauvinistic. We work all around the world with many different people, architects, engineers, technological guys. Normally we choose because they are good, not more.
What is your favorite furniture? What is the name of it? Your own design furniture.
Own design is impossible. I don't like it. No, honestly. I don't like it. I never choose one piece designed by myself. Never. I live in a house without pieces designed by myself. Never.
Okay.
Because I don't like to live in a catalog. I'm free. I'm not so auto-referential person. Listen, I designed a few different pieces, but all of them, they are for me completely wrong. And all of the time, I try to start again to design a new chair, new table, new things, and I try to be better than before. And all the time, I'm so creative, very creative, and I do something again wrong, and again wrong. And all the time, I don't see nothing designed by myself good enough.
Thank you very much.
Prego.
Where do you get inspiration from?
Inspiration? If you are a believer, probably the inspiration will come from the boss. The inspiration is culture. The inspiration is you need to study, you need to read a lot, you need to be open-minded, you need to smell on the street one perfumes or a noise, or you need to see one picture, paintings, movie, You need to hear music, you need to follow poetries, letters, you know. The inspiration is not so focused on, otherwise become something like a pornographic point of view. You know, if you study only design, it's a pornographic point of view. Think about it in a vertical point. The vertical point is a cultural approach. For example, when the people, they talk about choose one bench designed by Mies van der Rohe, 1928, for the Barcelona pavilion. You know, he designed 2 chairs and 1 bench. If you think about of the pavilion of Barcelona, if you think about of this piece of furniture, and you put everything inside in a spatial island, sounds unbelievable, incredible. It is unbelievable, incredible. But if you look vertically, what happened? Music, Bauhaus, artists, theater, literature, movies, sculptures, photography, the dresses, you know, think about Molinaghi. It was in the same moment, in the same time with him. Well, cut in a vertical way. This is the inspiration. If you think about of the shoes by Gucci with a 4 and cut it in the back, you know, looks like good or horrible, doesn't matter. But you need to put inside in the context. The context is vertical one. Think about of the ghetto people, think about of the new music, think about of the rapper, think about of the capacity to be elegant but not too much. Think about of in which way we drive the cars, you know. You need to put inside in a vertical point. This one is inspiration.
I would like to ask, what's your why in this industry? What's your inner motivation? What's the why behind all of it?
Passion, new limits, community, responsibility, and last but not least, simplicity. I like the simple life. You know, if I design something intelligent or not too much stupid, somebody pay for that. And I like the simple life. You know, if I design in a good way, I survive with a classical, simple glass of crystal every morning. And after that, you know, a small bowl of beluga, 3-star beluga, simple, pure. That is the, you know, the idea why I design the pieces all around the world. Simplicity.
Why choose this career? How?
Oh, it's simple because when I was young, my father, it was a very good person. And he found one small company for make restoration for antique fabrics and special antique furniture pieces. And he tried to teach me, and I was not good enough. I was not good enough, but I understood, I learned, and in my mind, you know, the idea it was anyway to be architect. But because I was not good enough to be a son of my father. And I tried to change. Anyway, passion. Basta.
Please don't go anywhere. Now will be another presentation of Piero's business partner, Miguel. I'd like to welcome you to the stage if you're ready for it, Miguel.
Good evening. So with maybe the help of Rodrigo afterwards, we are going to tell you about a project we are doing here in Budapest. And if the presentation is not too good, if you think I'm not too well prepared, it's because I want Piero to look good, and I don't want to ruin his presentation. So it's not easy to tell the story of a project. I've been working with the studio and with Piero and with the team for next year is 20 years. And through these 20 years, we've made many projects. And I think there are some projects which are kind of special because they pose a big challenge. And I think this is one of them that we are still going through. And it started 2016. And when we went to this site, which you know much better than me, because maybe most of you are from here, the challenge I think that we looked at was the fact that these were 3 buildings from 3 different times, with 3 different histories, and they were completely lost in the sense that they were empty inside, they were stripped of function. And the challenge that the client posed to us was to turn them into a hotel, into apartments. And the reason why it made the project so special, and I think it's also a very interesting attitude, is the possibility for buildings to have a second life or a third life. You know, and when we look at each one of the buildings, and if we go back, Rodrigo, to the first image, and we look at this building, this used to be a bank, it used to be apartments, and it was nowhere near the design to be a hotel. And to think that this building could become something different, you know. In the late 1800s, it's a beautiful bank. In the 2024, it might be a beautiful hotel. And you might be having inside breakfast, a drink, a tea, and you might be using spaces that would think of, I think this was the place where they had meetings in the bank upstairs. And now it's going to become a special lounge for the bedrooms. And then what made this even more special was that there were other 2 buildings which had also 2 different histories. And the challenge was to make it one project. And how can you make one project out of 3 histories and 3 buildings that were designed to be something completely different? And I think that was the special challenge, and that was the special ingredient that really lured us onto this project. And we are looking at another building, which is the Mahart from 1909, I think. And it used to be the headquarters for the Mahart Headquarters Association. And it used to be offices. And now this is going to become apartments. And go ahead. And there are, of course, special parts in the building which we have to keep, which are heritage, which are things that are going to remain attached to the past. But another part of the building is going to be attached to the present and to the future. And that possibility is really unique. And I think that is one of the most interesting things you can think of in a city with the history of Budapest and other cities around the world that have such a strong history. The possibility to change the buildings, the possibility to evolve, the possibility to make new things out of something that apparently was lost, changed, abandoned, and maybe just didn't have much use for the city anymore. And so this is something that can only happen with the client, with the developer, with the trust and the belief that they put in us. And so we started this adventure. And we wanted also with Rodrigo to tell you the story of how this then became something special, especially what happened inside these buildings and how they were transformed. Go ahead, Rodrigo. And so we went through inspiration. These are a few images of how we would connect these buildings. And the main language that we use to connect these buildings is to be contemporary. So today we have to design something that is of today, and we don't have to mimic the past. So we have to respect the buildings, we have to respect the identity of the buildings, and we like the idea to have something completely modern, completely new, as the element that is going to connect these buildings together, and it's going to become one project. One part is obviously the courtyard. So we opened inside in the building, there was 2 or 3 small courtyards. We opened them up and we made one big space, which was going to become a winter garden for the project, covered by glass. And then we decided and we proposed to design completely the roofs with a completely contemporary way of designing. We designed a special restaurant on the top. We designed penthouses on one of the buildings. We designed special hotel rooms. We redesigned completely the roofs of these elements so that there is an element of modern architecture, but especially the idea that you can live every part of the building and not to have the roofs as a place where you put all the MEP and where you put all the garbage, but to be a place where you can live, where you can have public functions of the hotel, where you can have the penthouses. And again, the winter garden is so special, you know, because we live in Europe, you live in the northern part of Europe, and you don't have the climate all year round to be outside. And so to be able to bring a sort of a garden that can be used all year round and can become the connecting element between these 3 buildings for us seemed like a very interesting challenge. And so we went on and we started designing piece by piece. Do you want to come, Rodrigo?
Hi everybody. I am going through the interior part of the project, basically because I'm coming here to Budapest twice a month to follow it, so I kind of know it by heart. The main idea behind our interior part of the project and also the architecture was already said by Miguel. It was to respect the heritage. We have a beautiful building that it has to be preserved, it has to be respected. And they give us a direct link to the heritage of Hungary, of Budapest. So we start from there and we just contrast it very strongly with the contemporary look of it. I'm going to try just to guide you through the guest experience. That is going to be like the essence of the project. Some images exactly to say that we are trying to have this mixed match with contemporary and heritage. And you may notice from Piero's speech, we have a lot of irony inside it. We have an unexpected journey. So you're going to find here and there things that you might find out of place, but they are not. You saw from the pictures the entrance. When you enter the place, you are entering the heritage. You are feeling the greatness of the building. We didn't touch anything there. We just restore it. And then you're starting to see here and there the strange elements, the special journey that is guiding through the guest experience. It looks a little bit like the no lamp that Piero was talking about earlier. And that is the foyer when you enter, and then you get through 3 little doors that brings you to the new courtyard, the new contemporary feeling of the buildings. That is going to be this. And what we are trying is to give this feeling of a new space, but still having here and there some links to the tradition. We have beautiful ceramic tiles made here in Hungary, handmade. We have some motifs that are trying to have this link, continuous link, that you feel in a new space, but you feel so much into the tradition of the place. We jump into the lobby bar. The other thing that we wanted that too much is that it is a hotel, yes, it is for the guests, but it is open for the city, for everybody. So this is one bar that it can be accessed from 3 different spots, from the street, from the inner courtyard, from the lobby. So you can have also here something that recalls you the Hungarian roofs on the bar counter. You have Lissoni's and partner touch of it. You have contemporary furniture. You have the Italian feeling of it, but you're not in Italy. You're in Europe, basically. And then the heart of the hotel is going to be, this is the foyer that Miguel was talking before. It was supposed to be a place where they were gathering for business meetings, and now it's coming part of a mixed-use corridor of the hotels, but a place where you can stay, hang out, take a book, read it, chill out, in a very contrasted heritage and contemporary ambient. And then the heart of the project, the heart of the architectural project, the heart of what is going to be for the city, this place, is the courtyard. It's the main bar and restaurant that you are feeling in an outdoor space, but you are within the city. You are surrounded with great greenery. You have this feeling of gathering together. Because, again, you come from the hotel, or probably you come from your apartment that is on one of these buildings, and you are on the street, and you come here for a nice dinner rather than a drink or just to chill out. Again, some irony around. And we're working very hard to have a great atmosphere also at night, because we believe it's going to be part of the great success of the place.